Hello and welcome to episode 3, Dad Bodcast. I'm your host, Jay Chadwell. With me, as always, Logan, the Great Hayslip. Do we need a nickname for you yet?
I think Logan. I think Logan's perfect. It's just a nice, solid, brief thing. I got to talk about my energy level for this one because we're gonna be on a struggle. So last week I had mentioned, and your pictures. Oh no, pictures no longer frozen. I had mentioned that I was starting a diet. So
Carnivore.
And I am currently
Logan
1 week.
T-Rex Hayslip.
I can't do that for reasons I'll talk to you about later. My arms are too big. Let's just call it that. So I am currently 1 week in. I am not broke. I have not cheated at all. I've had nothing but meat, water, no alcohol, which for my drinker self was very rough. I can tell you this weekend was horrible. But my energy levels have crashed. They're a lot better today than they were yesterday, but on Friday I was just miserable because I couldn't have a beer when I got home from work. On Saturday I went golfing. I played 18 holes of golf in my favorite course around here. Played pretty well.
Friendly?
No, not friendly. Not friendly meadows. I went to Stone Lick with a buddy of mine. We got matched up with the two most boring people I've ever met in my entire life. And, just the lack of personality was breathtaking. Like, his son, it was like a dad and his son from college. His son put on sunscreen on the first hole for 10 minutes straight. I didn't drink at all during golf. And then I went to a wings place. I ordered wings without sauce and a water. I have never felt more emasculated. So Sunday I crashed. I skipped my wife's family's Thanksgiving thing because
Thanksgiving?
Not Thanksgiving, Easter. I'm sorry. Emily literally just started talking to me. I literally can't hear her. She's saying something to me. I can't hear her at all.
Does she know that the fans want you? Like, the fans want you. They don't want me.
Yeah.
Like, what is she doing?
I don't know. I'm sorry. You can just cut this part out. So anyway, so my energy level's just gone. Just absolutely gone, barely can get out of bed. Today I did a workout that helped, but I'm down 12 pounds in 7 days.
Dang. I thought that you said it was okay to do a 5-hour energy or Red Bull or something like that.
The 5-hour energy, so I haven't done a Red Bull. 5-hour energy is the only thing that I will take at all, but it doesn't, the caffeine doesn't pick me up enough anymore. I think I fried myself on early in my work when they'd have 2 or 3 bangs in a day, every day for weeks.
Right.
So
Gotcha.
yeah, I'm fried. So.
All right. So and then the new hair. I got the haircut.
It is a significant improvement, and yet still terrible. I said off screen, you look like you decided you wanted to get a perm one day, and then my thought was maybe he's balding up top, so he lets it grow longer where it is, so you can kind of hide it.
Dude,
got a little Donald Trump action going on.
You know that it's a natural.
Yeah, I know,
curl.
but you used to have you know the worst time for Boy Meets World was when he started growing out the fro.
The fro.
He just had the nice, smooth, you know what I mean? You have a very rectangular head, and it just, keeps going up with your hair now. So, your head just keeps, it's 20, You literally just put your hand on top of your head, and I was like, wow, it's so much more attractive. How does Meg feel about this? I know she's right behind you. I would love for her to weigh in.
She is currently ignoring us. Now, I got only you in my... she can't hear you.
I know, and it's really disappointing, because you could just turn around and ask her, but I think I know where this would go.
I think 1 week we do need to have our wives as our co-hosts on the podcast.
Oh,
just a special.
I'm so excited for that.
Just a special.
I'm so excited.
Just 1 week only. Megan and
wives tell all. What are they really like off the screen? What are they like when they're not on screen or in public?
On the podcast, but that's how they act in real world. I'm never listening to them again.
We've already said that my wife's the strongest. My wife is the Superman of wives because she puts up with me. It's just that. I just talked to her horribly when she was right there. Like I was not.
We're editing it out because I don't want people to see this. I don't want them to see how you just spoke to her.
I love Anthony Mackie. I always see the clip one time about get daddy a sandwich. Like I live that. It's like we go out in public and some guy wises off to you. You expect me to knock him out. So make daddy a sandwich.
Is that Oprah?
No, I think it's Wendy Williams or something like that. I don't know what her name is.
All right,
but
so new format trial.
All right.
Somewhere on the screen right now, hopefully, is the rundown of everything we talk about today.
Okay,
so
I can
just
see
a list of
nothing,
events.
so that's cool.
No, because I haven't put it in yet. I can't time.
Oh, so you're going to put it... okay.
Yeah, I can't. The editing skills are going to... Like, I've already pretty much mastered editing you. So now I need to put some text overlay and some graphics on.
Have we talked about a cut for this? Because you're doing all the work. I just show up.
Dude, but you're the talent, so 50-50 I'm good with.
I was going to give you 75-25. This is why you never throw out your first number. I'm going to teach you how to be in sales.
Always. Did you ever watch The Office?
I don't even want to know what your first offer was. Yeah. Your second offer was insulting. Yeah, I'm a huge, I love The Office. So that's another area we could go. Office trivia. Actually, because it's more recent in my head, I bet we could play the South Park game with The Office, and we'd do really well. Yes.
Maybe next week. I already got something planned for next week.
Wow, okay. All right,
so
let's
go.
Got
a lot planned. We got Logan Redemption, Little Sports as always, our draft, which I'm excited about.
Oh, what's the draft?
There will be no spoilers.
You're fucking, come on! I don't even know. I don't get to know anything. This is unfair.
Dad joke of the day, obviously.
I hate dad jokes so much.
Obviously, we have to start with the breaking news of about what time is it now? It's 9:15. Like an hour ago now, Steph Curry said that this will be his last year. That he is retiring after this year. I would expect...
April Fools. I'm done. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with my Steph Curry. You knock it off right now.
Your face at the very beginning.
Yeah,
it's... Oh my gosh. You were semi-panicked.
I have 3 basketball players that I hold at a different level than all others. And this is a personal preference. This has nothing to do with their greatness levels, but it's Steph, Michael, and Larry. Those are 3 guys that I idolize the way they play the game, and for different reasons for each one of them. No, I honestly I think Jokic is beginning to get up to that level. Funny enough.
All right.
Yeah, I mean he's 7 foot fat Larry Bird.
The video playback will show that for about 3 or 4 seconds you were panicked.
Yeah. No, Steph. His game is just going to age so well, but at the same time, I just can't see him being mediocre. He's a different guy, man. He is a very good mix of Tim Duncan and Michael Jordan, as in their competitiveness and the way they lead. You know what I mean?
Right.
So but he's also not quiet. He's not quiet. He will showboat. He will do all that stuff, which I like. I think there are certain levels to that. My boss at work was always I want you to be like Tim Duncan. I was like, I kind of like Steph Curry. I'm going to do something else. I want to hit you with a little shimmy. You know what I mean?
Some emotions good, too much emotions over the top.
Yeah, tell that to Michael Jordan.
There's some emotional basketball players in the world today that it's tough to watch them because of their their added antics.
Yeah, it's really... It almost is I don't know where it... I guess they watched the people before them, but it's you see that video that went viral of the little kids who were doing the too small and stuff like that, celebrations at an age. Yeah. I literally
the dude was all 3 times the size of everybody else.
All their parents should be in jail. Immediately. All their parents should be in jail. The coaches should be fired. They should have to go to a little person basketball jail where the ghost of John Wooden tells them this is not okay. Or Bobby Knight. Well, he just died too.
Yeah. Bobby Knight's really straightforward. Don't worry about it.
Hey, listen. Have you ever seen like Scared Straight? And they scare the people in the prison. That's what those kids need, but for basketball.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that you should start that show. I think you would be...
Dude, that would be my favorite show. I would just coach the most flamboyant kids out there, and every time they do something, like, we would forfeit games. I mean, you're getting pulled off. You do it. You're not going back in. And then the kids would just keep doing it. That would be the first episode of every new team. We forfeit the first game. It's like Kitchen Nightmares, where he goes the food's always horrible.
No way. There's no way that you would forfeit a game. You're too competitive.
100, dude. Yes, I am competitive, but I am insane for doing things the correct way. And listen, it's my version of the correct way, so it's my opinion. Like, I am 100% Coach Dale when he's like, "Oh, I'll play with 4 players." Like, you're going to defy me? No, you're not going back in the game. To heck with you. Like, I will lose many games to make a point.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I guess once this takes off and people see that idea, I hope that they come to you to be that person.
Listen, and I hope you edit this out, because this is the only time that I'm going to be really non-humble. This is me not being humble.
All right. So now, edit.
Hi!
Now we're here.
You just started right there.
All right. NFL released the over and under on wins.
Oh yes, I'm so excited.
We'll just hit up the AFC North is all we'll hit up for today.
Oh, we're not. I thought we were gonna do the whole AFC. No.
No, AFC North. Even though I will say, I think the. Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up now.
Dude, I was going to tell it. So you get first reaction here.
Well, to be fair, I've looked at them because I know, for example, what the Bengals line is, and this hot take is going to scorch. It's going to absolutely scorch the.
So let's start let's start on the bottom of the AFC North with the Steelers at 7.5. What do you got?
Over, and I don't even think it's close. I think the Steelers.
Russell Wilson or what?
Well, I mean, who was the other quarter? They just traded for Fields too, so it's like Fields and Russell Wilson are better than Kenny Pickett. I forget the other moves. I remember seeing some of the moves that they had, but I think the Steelers will be. They're very well coached. They've had a long system for a long time. They have a very good defense. They have a very good offensive line. I think they are going to be the number 1 or 2 team in the division.
Here's what I say with it. Like, Mike Tomlin has never had a sub 500 season. Ever. Yeah,
he's always going to be very consistent and
so
pretty.
You can bank
pretty
on him getting 9 wins. Is the point to that. So I thought that line was pretty attractive if you wanted to do that way.
I also once again we're gonna get to the Bengals thing, but we can start. I just don't. The Cleveland doesn't have a quarterback.
Browns are at 8.5. Where you at? What do you got there?
You see, the line seems pretty okay because I can still see Deshaun making a decent career for himself and some kind of bounce back. Yeah, their defense is going. So it's like you automatically have 2 wins because they're going to kill Joe Burrow. They're going to win games based on their defense. I probably am higher on the ability of a Deshaun Watson to bounce back than others, just because I think his top level, like, you just don't lose that talent, and it'd probably take a year or more to come back, which he's had that year. He's been injured. I just don't think he's like terrible or anything. It's like if you had to take for next year Kenny Pickett or Deshaun Watson, you're still taking Deshaun Watson.
Right.
So, yeah, I would say that line seems pretty good because it is going to be very dependent. If Deshaun Watson can get back to 90% of who he was in Houston, I mean, that's like an 11-win team.
Yeah, but something people never talk about is the stats that he put up in Houston. A lot of it had to do with they were down a lot, so he was throwing a lot in the second half that nobody else was.
Who did he have on anywhere? The Texans have been a fairly mediocre franchise for forever. So it's like, yes, you would hope that your quarterback elevates it to another level. I'm not saying he's great. Could he be a top 15 quarterback again? Yeah. And top 15 quarterbacks combined with unbelievable defense get you 10, 11 wins and into the playoffs. Like, think of Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins isn't great. He's got a ton of weapons. I was like, is there a reason that he can't be somewhat of Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, but he also had one of the best wide receivers in football for 5-6 years, or however long he was there.
Who? Deshaun? What was his name? Adrian
Hopkins.
Johnson? DeAndre? Well,
DeAndre
no,
Hopkins.
didn't he have? Oh, okay. Yeah, and DeAndre is a stud. But, I mean, once again, did he have an offensive line? Did he have a defensive line in Texans? I don't remember well enough.
All right, so you got over on Steelers at 7.5, 8.5. Which way are you going on Browns?
That line's perfect. It's a stay away if I'm gambling, but I will go. Yeah. I mean, gun to my head, I'm going to take under, but I don't feel good about it. It's not something I would gamble, let's put it that way.
All right, we'll skip the Bengals for now, so that can be the last one.
Yep.
Ravens 11.5.
God, see, it's something I wouldn't gamble on again, but if I had, this kills me. You know, the Ravens are
Just picked up Derrick Henry.
Yeah, and what he has left in the tank. But I would say the Ravens are the biggest season from hell possible team that you've ever seen. They get injured at a rate that is flabbergasting. Like, just absolutely unbelievable. And, if Deshaun stays healthy, or not Deshaun, but if Lamar stays healthy, then, they usually can compete still. But I just think 12 wins is always high. If I, once again, gun to my head, I would say 11. I mean, 11-12 is right where they'll end up. So that line is set perfectly. What did they go last year? 13-4?
Yeah, I think.
Or was it 12-5?
Let's look it up. I know they won the division.
What'd they go?
13-4. Or 13-4.
Yeah, I'll go over.
I mean, I think it seems like they're better than last year, and you would hope that they're going to stay healthier than last year.
Health is the biggest thing in football by leaps and bounds.
So, over on the Steelers, over on the Ravens, under on the Browns. Bengals, 10.5.
Under, and by the way, I would probably still bet under if the line was 9.5.
Jeez. You think they're a sub-500 team?
I think, have we addressed the offensive line?
Yes.
How many players did we get? Did we get an entirely new offensive line?
One. We don't need an entirely new offensive line.
As long as Burrow is getting murdered, he's going to continue to get injured. And as he continues to get injured, they're not a very good team. And also, I am the biggest anti-Burrow guy that there is. Like, people talk about him in the realm of, like, he's the third best quarterback in the league. And I have never seen it. I think he is a guy.
I don't think Josh Allen's number 2.
Yeah. I think there's one, and then there's, like, a drastic drop right now in the league between 1 and 2. And I'm not sure who 2 is. But I don't think it's... Man, I couldn't tell you who number 2 is. That's the thing. There's just a bunch of guys that are all...
Number 2?
Yeah. Who does number 2 work for? Yeah, you sure that turd who's boss, buddy?
I mean...
Okay, so, like, if Burrow's still getting killed, obviously now we have the thing where everybody's starting to get paid. And we have problems. T. Higgins, or is it T who's pissed off? Mm-hmm. We lost Boyd. Jamar, I mean, they're going to double Jamar.
Do you know how many drops Boyd had the last 2 years, though? Like, big drops?
I miss Boyd. Who's our tight end going into this year?
We just signed a new one.
Unless he's a stud. Like, I just feel like we've had a very, very, very good offense everywhere except around the line. We're changing running backs. I just don't. I don't like it, and I don't think our defense is anything special. Like, I guarantee our defense isn't. Actually, I would argue potentially our defense will be the worst in the NFC or AFC North.
The worst?
Yeah, because I think the other three have pretty good defenses. So, I mean, you put that together, and I just don't see it, man. Like, I wish
Tanner
I did.
Hudson.
Like, yeah, I don't know who. I have no idea who that is. I wish I was.
And Gesicki, or however you say his name, Gesicki.
Yeah, I wish that I felt differently. It's not like I went to the playoff game we won against the Bills in Buffalo. Man, it was like one of the coolest sporting moments I've ever been to. I went to. I took my daughter to her first game not too long ago with the White Knight against the Miami Dolphins. It's great. I love going to the games. I love it. I just don't see it. Like, I've never been super impressed by Burrow. I think he came in as a very polished product because he came into the league at 35 or however old he came in, a 7-year senior. I don't think he has fantastic arm strength. I think his arm at, how old is he now? 27, 26? In all seriousness?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I think his arm right now looks like 35-year-old Tom Brady's arm.
27.
Yeah, I never thought he had a particularly strong arm. He's always getting injured, which that's the one thing he doesn't have. They're like, he is Brady with a lesser arm, in my opinion, and he gets injured. Brady never got injured except one time.
So if he's healthy, where you got him at?
Does he have time to throw?
Yes.
I mean,
healthy with an offensive line that protects him.
I mean, then we're probably a 10-11 win team, but I just don't see it. Like, I don't believe when I see it, I'll believe it.
Where do you have Burrow? Like, what rank a quarterback? You have Holmes at 1.
Well, yeah, okay, so hold on. So I'm going to give you Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and a great offensive line and a pretty good offensive coach in Zach. Then any quarterback is going to look really good. Like, I don't think it's Burrow elevating the people around him. It's more like it's a combination. Like, if Burrow didn't have receivers but had an offensive line, I don't think he makes a receiver a star.
Like, I guess we'll see. I mean, with his contract, it could happen.
I am so anti-paying any player that kind of money unless you're Mahomes. I think it puts you in cap hell. And I think it is, while a great quarterback can take you places, I think that quarterback has to be a definitive, like, you're right at the top of the league. So we had this conversation on our very first podcast about.
Well, I just think that the fact that he took us to back-to-back AFC championships, winning one with a bad offensive line, says that he's pretty good. Now, we'll see.
I do not think he's bad. Listen, I was right on Andy Dalton. I've been wrong on a whole lot of others. I remember having arguments with Emily's cousin about Andy Dalton. He's like, oh, I think he's a top 10 quarterback in the league. I was like, no. I was like, if we had Kirk Cousins during the Andy Dalton years when we kept getting bounced in the first round of the playoffs and the wild card, we would have been a AFC champion or AFC finalist every single year.
We also had some knuckleheads.
Yeah, but we had studs. We had studs across the defense, across the offense, and it elevated. That was a circumstance where it elevated Dalton, not the other way around. So, like, I hope that I'm wrong, but my theory on Joe Burrow is that if he was less good-looking and less cool, he'd be getting run out of town. People would be furious. There's no way he gets that contract. But I think I literally think his good looks and his just, like, he is the coolest guy in the world. It's like if Frank Sinatra was a quarterback. Like, and I think he gets elevated in people's minds because of that.
There you go.
So.
See this?
What is that? I have no idea what that is.
So.
Oh my goodness. Are you trying to kiss me?
Great. No, it's not mouthwash. It is it's called Singer's Soothing Throat Spray. So it's what, like, singers will use. So, like, I found out early in my coaching career that my voice box wouldn't hold, like, with 2 weekend games or something like that.
Yep.
So I had to find something, and that's what I found. So my voice this weekend was spent, so I dug that back out.
Did you coach this weekend, or?
No, I was out in the cold on Thursday and Friday. I don't know if it just got to me or what, but I've had no voice. So I had to use that, so I didn't want to use that and just leave you clueless of what was going on.
Yeah, it would have been a weird thing that happened through that. I'd have been like, "Oh wow, okay, I don't know, minty fresh,"
Didn't want to smell my breath through the camera at the computer.
Yeah. Well, I also have no sense of smell, so thanks for remembering that.
I forgot about that.
No, it's okay.
There's...
You remind blind people what color the sky is all the time.
I mean, that's fine. I'm colorblind right now. All right, so a new, well, it's not new, I guess, but I've just now seen this. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw a graphic, and I'm going to pull it up here. Hopefully you'll be able to see it, of the shot chart of not typical NBA, but the 200 most common shots in the NBA in 2001-2002 season, and then the 2019-20 season.
I think I've seen this before, so...
I'm going to try
in the 1920?
Yeah. I'm pulling it up right now.
Yep, I can see it.
There.
Yep.
So they call this the Steph Curry effect, obviously. There are zero mid-range jumpers. That is one of the most common 200 shots.
It's not the common. I mean...
Well, look how common it was in 01 and 02.
Yeah, no, I get it 100%. It's just a changing of math and analytics. This doesn't surprise me personally. And I would say that we went through a lack of great big men for a long time. Which means that there were more players spread out across the floor. I don't understand why people are so shocked that over time we would learn how to do something more efficiently. When I was coaching high school basketball, I used to tell it's no, if we're gonna girls basketball, it's we couldn't shoot 40% on layups. I was like, okay, well then we're better off trying to shoot 30% on threes.
Do you think that was a reflection of your coaching?
Yeah, but we didn't. Oh wait, for the 40% on layups.
Yeah, because that was when you were at St. Michael's, right?
St. Pat's, but yeah,
St.
no,
Pat's.
my studs were 4'11", if that. We brought in as an 8th grader, and she started point guard for us.
It was a day kid, right?
No, not Dave. Never really played. It was this little Caroline McKay is one of my favorite players I ever got to coach. She was tough, but she was 4'11", might have been strong. You know what I mean? She was just short, just so small, and we were always, St. Pat's is such a small school,
right?
But no, I mean, we took that program over, and they won 0 games the year before. We won 5 the first season we were there, and they thought we were coaching. They built a statue of me. It's still there for the 5-win season, 5-25.
What would your statue as a coach be like? How would it be shaped?
What is my
are you sitting on the bench cross-armed? Are you up yelling? What are you doing?
I don't sit on the bench when I coach. If I was the head coach, I
being an assistant coach this year was really tough in making that adjustment.
Oh, did you ever get a tech as an assistant?
As an assistant, no.
I got warned a few times.
I'm shocked that I was just warned.
No, I never got one. You're not the head coach, man. You gotta. And I was very young when I did this too. You got to remember that I was 22, yelling at officials. This is the stupidest thing in the world. No, I don't even know that I ever got a technical as a head coach.
I did. I'll tell you that after we talk a little bit more about this.
Yeah, but anyway,
I just think it's so crazy.
This is not the Steph Curry effect, by the way.
You don't think?
No, I think this was done well before that, and I would call this the Mike D'Antoni effect more than anything.
At Phoenix?
Yeah. The 7 seconds. Listen, that was in 2007, by the way. We're acting like this is a novel thing, and there's so many different iterations. guys who thought out the box, who thought outside of the box, and have been happening for a very, very, very long time. And, it's kind of like Moneyball in baseball, which baseball's unwatchable these days, but that's another story. It just takes basketball people time to evolve, and I just think, like, you always go for what gives you the best opportunity to win. Now, having said that, but even if you think about it, like I was getting ready to say, it's like, if you have Shaquille O'Neal, you're just going to dump it in all the time. It's like, yeah, well, that's his shot. But the best way to play with Shaq is to put 4 other amazing shooters outside around him.
Right. I get that, but I'm just saying, you don't think it's crazy that not one shot of the 200 is inside the 3-point line or outside the line?
It literally does not surprise me in any way, shape, or form.
I mean, look, in 01-02, it's like half.
Dude, there are no, like, so 1920, Kobe's done. Kobe's like the last great. I mean, there's a lot of other good mid-range guys. Like, don't get me wrong, but like I love. There's a beautiful video of Kobe Bryant just working on mid-range jumpers, and the one dribble, get to the elbow, stop, pull up is one of my favorite things. And I think that your elite players you're gonna find, if you looked at the top players in the league, like the top 15 guards outside of like Curry. I mean, when I say guards, I mean like wing guys. Yeah. I would say they are the only ones that are putting up consistent mid-range jumpers in game.
Well, I mean, I think what this proves is if you cannot score in the paint or shoot threes, you're not going to win in today's NBA. You're just not going to do it.
Yeah.
If you banked purely on mid-range, you're not going to win.
No. It's just, I mean, you would have to be hyper efficient. I think you probably have to shoot 60%. And it's just not a very. I also think it's just harder. I think a lot of these guys are, it's all catch and shoot.
Hey, 01-02, who do you think a lot of these shots were right here?
Oh, it's so much Kobe. It's so much Dirk. Yeah, hey, while you say
Kobe,
it doesn't
Dirk,
well,
and who else? 01-02. Think Spurs.
Oh, Timmy?
Using the backboard, man.
You thinking Timmy backboard? Yeah, it's yeah. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, hold on, if you put Kobe on a team today and allowed him to play, it's like you still think he's not going to be hyper efficient or like efficient and good, which that's one of my biggest, to be fair, it is one of my biggest comparisons or faults with Kobe's game is that he could be inefficient at times. But it's like Jordan's the greatest scorer to ever live, and he averaged like 30 and very efficiently, by the way, on twos and getting to the basket on mid-range jumpers.
Okay, so if Jordan was in today's game, right? Let's say even Jordan and Kobe. That's all I'm saying. Jordan and Kobe. Yeah. So would there be mid-range shots in today's game if Jordan and Kobe were playing today?
I think they would have an easier time getting to the basket, so they don't have to do that as often.
Right.
Those two would still shoot mid-range shots. They're good shots for them. They're very efficient at those shots. It's kind of like Jokic still shoots a decent amount of mid-range shots because he's a very good. He's taller than everybody else. Like Kobe and Jordan were able to manipulate their bodies in ways that and get high enough off the jump. Like those guys would still shoot those shots. Like I believe that the game is very different today, but I also still believe that the stars of the past, and I mean the stars, the great ones, could still play in today's game. The people that I don't think can play are the 7th and 8th men of the 90s and 80s. Yeah. It's not that the stars have gotten that much better. It's that I always say the 3 through 8s are so much better. So the talent across the board has grown, but I don't think there's a giant jump. Yeah, there's a lot of things, and actually, so I'm not there's this other YouTube channel. Shout out, make sure to give us a shout out, man. Called Jimmy High Roller, and he does like these really good comparison videos on NBA. So you should watch it. And they talked about the '90s versus today and stuff because there's that big trend. Is like Jordan had no left hand. They looked at Jordan's going left, and he was like way more efficient than anybody, and went more left than today's stars. Yeah, and it's just when you look at that stuff, and like they showed video of I forget who it was doing a Euro step, and it was a travel. Or they show that that you can't put your
Dad
hand
and I
on.
were just talking about, like, in the post, how many people do that, like, pump fake, get the defender to go, and then take that extra step through and go. That was a travel every single time when we were kids.
100% out of 100. It's the same thing with carrying the ball. Carrying the ball is no longer really a thing. And literally, if you watch Magic Johnson, for example, his hand is always on top of the ball. And if he tried to do it otherwise, like, the rules literally have changed.
Yeah.
So it's a good video to watch. You should watch. He talks about being done with the 90s. Once again, I am all for the stars. Like, you can't tell me Larry Bird wouldn't still be great today. You just can't do it, because I'm watching a fatter, slightly taller version of him do it, and he's a stud. Like, I was arguing with some kid about that. They were just like, oh, it's some young intern at my office. He was like, are you playing against plumbers? I'm like, all right, who are the best players in the league right now? Actually, I'm going to ask you that question. If you had to pick the two best players in the league.
Right now?
Yep.
I'm going to say Jokic.
Yep.
And I'm probably going to say Giannis.
Okay. I would, I made, for the argument's sake, I said Luka.
Okay.
You know what neither one of them are known for?
Shooting.
No, how athletic they are.
You mean Giannis and Jokic?
No, Luka and Jokic.
Oh, yeah. Neither one of them are defined as an athletic.
Exactly. So it's like the idea that you have to be this hyper athlete to be a great basketball player. It's, it's now more than ever that kids are more talented, but we miss playing together. And like, if you play with somebody for 10 years, the difference of year 1 and year 10, even if both your skill sets stay the same and your talent levels stay the same, you will play better basketball together. Yeah. And that doesn't happen anymore. And frankly, if you look at the only dynasty-type teams, it's teams that have a core group of guys that stick together for a very long time.
When I was playing, I know I'm not obviously at the professional level, but when I was playing, like, I threw passes that were, like, borderline bad. I mean, they were there, but they weren't at the same time. Mm-hmm. But Kidwell and I played together so much that he always knew to look for them, so he made my bad passes good because he knew to be ready for them. Yeah, so I think you're right on that.
Well, it's like, what makes Jokic special? He obviously has a fantastic skill set, but it's his mind, man. Like, we have so many great players out there who can dribble amazing, can shoot amazing and stuff, but they never are taught how to play. And I think that's one thing that the Europeans do much better, and you see that in Luka and you see that in Jokic, are two perfect examples of that. They play the game better than everybody else.
Yeah,
and I think that's like, if you think about how Jordan came up, or how Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, they were playing. They were actually playing. Yes, were they outside working on their handle and shooting and stuff like that? But it's like we've gone from 25% skill training to 75% playing to 75% skill training and 25% playing. And by the way, when you're doing that playing, you're not playing with the same people. You're playing on different AAU teams, and the mindset is, I have to go get mine to make myself look as good as humanly possible. Yeah. And when you're playing in high school, we often forget, the objective is to win the game. It's not to score more. The objective is to win the game, and it is.
You're saying as individuals, like individual kids, forget that.
Oh yeah, all the time, man. It's like, it's heartbreaking. It's like, Underwood always used to say, it's like, you score 2 points, you win. Defense hold them 0. Like, is that realistic? No, that's not the thing. But it's like, nobody on that team, if you win every game 2-0, is getting recruited.
Right.
Because you have 2 points a game. Now, are you winning every game? Are you doing what you're supposed to do? Yeah. So
I think kids worry about scoring. I think that's such a big thing now. I think that, and I'm going to tread lightly here, I think that some parents make it worse by wanting their kid to be the star, or wanting to be the scorer.
It's not some parents, man. It's parents.
It's not all. There's parents that still have.
I will never be that
team.
way. Yeah, I will never be that way, ever. That will never be a way that I am with my kids.
I mean, I'm in year 9 now, varsity level or higher. I mean, it just, you see it. And it's a lot of times, as a coach, you can kind of get them together, but then whatever they're hearing on car rides home or at the dinner table, it matters. So, I mean, I think as adults, you have to set that tone of what really are you trying to accomplish with a team sport? Yes, winning, obviously, but you're gaining life skills as well. Like you, and you have to do all that stuff. And being so one-dimensional on if you're not scoring, you're not getting a scholarship X, Y, Z.
It's a misrepresentation.
So much of it.
It's such a misrepresentation of what is important in basketball. The person who sets the screen doesn't get any credit.
Right.
And it's just, it's an oversimplification. I would really advise you to read it, and anybody who's ever listens to this. There's a book that I once read called Basketball is Jazz, and it's one of my favorite books that I've ever written. If you know anything about jazz, which I know very little, I've watched a few cool movies and stuff like that. But it's
the music jazz?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It is all spontaneous and they riff off each other. Basketball to me in its purest form is meant to be that. And I also am really I was always very inspired by there's a great article that was written after the Spurs came back and beat the Heat the second year after the Ray Allen shot. And Pop was like, we have to play an offense where the ball is constantly moving and stuff like that. We don't necessarily have sets. And they called it summertime. Because it's like when you're going out and playing pickup in summertime. And so if you have these high IQ guys who have played together forever and just instinctively know how to move, but that stuff has to be taught. And it can only be taught in game scenario stuff. It's like, think about how few players, and it's just because it's harder, play like Steph. And I'm not talking about dribbling up the top, pick and roll. I'm talking about running off multiple screens.
Yeah.
Like Reggie Miller did. You can build a whole career off that. You build a whole career, and 5 players in the league do it consistently. It's crazy. It's
and
mind-blowing.
What the crazy part is, going back to that graphic, is it shows that that's what people are practicing. They're only practicing 3-point shots anymore.
Yeah,
so the fact that more people can't do that is insane because it's going to be guarded. There's no reason to guard mid-range because nobody does it anymore.
We have taken everything to its simplest level, and I kind of hate it. But the easiest way to play basketball right now is to have one star, surround him with one big who can also stretch the defense, and 3 other ones, and play Luka James Harden ball. It's my least favorite form of basketball at all. He's going to dribble the ball for 15 seconds. He's going to get a high screen and roll with that big, and he's going to create out of that. It is the ugliest thing I've ever seen, and it's the simplest. But it's like if you're in high school, for example, and you have a great point guard, a bunch of decent shooters who can't handle the ball, and one big, it's what you would do every single time.
Yeah. Yeah, you would. So, but I mean, I don't know. The game's it's definitely changed from when we were in school.
But I'm not that guy either that's like, get off my lawn. The old man, get off my lawn. The game is great today. Is it as good as I want it to be? No. I think they need to, and I think they will. Actually, you've already seen it. I don't know if you've noticed, but they're allowing defenses to be more physical, and that basically started after the All-Star game. Ever since then, that has been drastically changed, the officiating, and I hope Adam Silver does. I think defenses need to be a lot more physical, and then, by the way, when that happens, you will see the game go back to a different mode.
I think it's just that the NBA became so infatuated with people want to see scoring that then you got these 150 to 160 games. That it's that's not even who can shoot better that night? Who can shoot better that night?
Literally,
that's what's going on.
Yeah.
And you're taking the defense completely away from it, which people like.
Yeah. Yeah, and by the way, and the thing is, like, the most watched games and the most watched stuff are always the playoffs. What happens? The refs let it become more physical.
Right.
They play harder defense. And it's like, so why are we not incentivizing this year-round? I've always said that they should adopt a European soccer type of style to this. Now, the only problem is you don't have ties. But it's like, you should just play every team. There's 32 teams, right? You should play every team 3 times.
Yeah.
And you play 90 games, and then the
no postseason.
No.
Only top 4?
Yeah, or top 8.
Okay.
Top 8. No more, hey, you get in. It's like, if you want to be one of the top 8. And also, I would make the draft completely random. De-incentivize taking completely. Like, the other thing is, it's like, well, then you come into, it's like, well, these owners can't compete, they're in a small market. It's like, oh yeah, sell your team. Like, you're not a cool enough billionaire to compete against the other billionaire. Yeah, like, spend the money or get out. You're going to sell this in 5 years or 10 years or 20 years for 10x what you bought it for. It disgusts me.
So, speaking of shooting,
okay,
my favorite women's basketball player is playing right now. I don't know the score.
I checked on the score at halftime. I won't say anything.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You and I had a semi-conversation, but...
I was really hoping you were coming here.
Set shooting only. I'm not saying physicality of the game between men and women. I'm not saying that. I'm saying set shooting only. Mm-hmm. Where-ish would you rank her, Caitlin Clark, in the NBA?
Probably somewhere outside the top 100. I mean, I'd have to literally look at NBA 3-point percentage leaders, and let's see if there's a giant list, because that's the only.
I'm sure NBA.com will have it.
Okay. So the top 50, there is not the 50th is 39.6%.
Okay.
I will remind you, when I looked at it earlier, she's a career. I'm pretty sure this year she's at 38.
I would make an argument that she sees, based on the genetics, tougher defense night in, night out than 90% of those people in the NBA. Steph Curry, she does not see a tougher defense than. But somebody whose only job is to...
Kevin Durant's on that list.
Okay.
Karl Anthony Towns is on that list. Jamal Murray is on that list.
I don't want you to
Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James.
Dude.
Like, we're not talking just like guys who are just set shooters.
I didn't want to say this until I needed it, but I have the ability to mute you, and I will take it. I will do it. I'm saying that a lot of those people on that list are playing with your LeBron James, your Steph Curry, or whatever, that all they're doing is sitting there waiting until they get open because the defense collapses, catching and shooting. She does not get to do that, ever. She's being face guarded every single night. So the fact that you're trying to put her shooting percentage against theirs it's not equivalent. It doesn't make sense. If you wanted to put her shooting percentage against Steph Curry, that would make more sense.
Okay. Do you remember, it was not that long ago, a few years ago, like Steph made 108 threes in a row?
Yeah, from the corner.
No, I think he was moving around the entire court. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
My point is, dude, I just think these, like, I'm just going to disagree with you on this. Like, there's no us coming to a common ground. I think I just disagree, frankly. And once again, there is the closer line, smaller ball, all that stuff. Now, she's playing with inside.
You're making an argument against something they don't have control over. They've played with a smaller basketball their whole life. If they were to play with men's basketball their whole life, they would still be at the same level because that's what they would be practicing.
Maybe. Well, no, hold on. So let's think about this. It is actually harder to make a bigger ball.
Agree.
Okay, so what I'm saying is Steph Curry with a women's ball, if he played with that his entire life, would be even greater.
You don't know that, though. There's no way in saying that. Because if you're practicing with that equipment...
I'm sorry, it's physics. You have literally...
It has nothing to do with physics.
Or dimensions, geometry, whatever.
Okay. It has nothing to do with any of that.
We're not... I don't even know why you brought this up, because we are not going to agree on this.
Because you're being stubborn.
Hold on. What's her free throw percentage?
I have no idea.
I'm really curious. Can you look it up?
Dude, you're the looking up guy right now.
Okay.
She's shooting 44% from the field or from three this year, by the way. 88% from the free throw line.
Oh, I don't trust you as far as I can throw you.
I thought I just read it. I'm pretty sure I just read it. I went quick because I didn't want to see any kind of score.
Yeah.
I didn't want to accidentally see a score.
I'll look at... No, this year she's shooting 37.7.
What was the 44% I saw from the field?
So... Yeah, her from the field is 46.4.
Okay.
So her best 3 year, by the way, which would go toward what you were saying, yeah, but she's not been that much of a different player her entire career, which is funny. She averaged 26.6, she averaged 27, she averaged 27.8, she averaged 31.7. So she's taken a jump this year. You know, have you ever like actually poured time into advanced metrics?
No.
Advanced metrics are something that you could literally contribute. So it's funny. She scored about the same amount of points each year, her first 3 years. This year there's a jump. Guess what else there's a jump in? Her usage percentage. Her usage percentage has gone from 37% roughly her first 3 years to 40 this year. I wonder, actually, let's see. Now, to be fair, this isn't even her best. She had a better true shooting percentage, which factors free throws, everything, right? The effectiveness of everything. Her freshman and her junior year.
Okay, but if Steph Curry could shoot set shots every game, would his shooting percentage be better?
Oh, significantly.
Then you can't argue that against her.
So you're saying the only people that I can compare her to are guys who are on the ball shooters, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying on, but I'm saying that's the only... If you're going to bring up percentages, that's the only way you can do it. You can't compare apples and oranges.
I am going to, I just believe, and I think it is genetically proven, that women are not as good at sports as men. I'm going to get so much sexist from that. I have 2 daughters that I want to be great at sports. I am not sexist, but it is a genetic thing that we are bigger, faster, stronger, and I'm pretty sure there's some hand-eye coordination stuff that goes inside there too.
But I'm not saying her playing in an NBA game. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying a set shot. She gets 100 shots. But, anybody else gets 100 shots. How many where
you
where
look at
fall?
Video of LeBron James, who is not like a great three-point shooter, but in practice, he's making every shot.
And you don't think she does?
I don't.
Exactly. You're purely basing this off of one thing.
Sir, I'm going to say again, I believe that it would be somewhere outside of the top 100 shooters. Out of 400 people in the NBA, she could not shoot better than 100 of them.
All right.
By the way, Luka Doncic, who's not an insanely great shooter, who also is doing all these dribbles in the same type of situation you're talking about, Caitlin Clark.
Correct.
38%.
Okay,
same
so about equal. Yeah.
Okay, now we talk about longer line, bigger ball, guarded by NBA players, not college girls.
But she's a college girl. You can't say that. That doesn't make any sense, Logan. And again, I'm not saying in a game. I'm saying a set shot. Like, how can you not understand that that's what I'm saying? I'm saying, shot.
Okay, but I'm saying if you can translate... We're not going to agree on this. I can't believe you brought up this topic. We're not going to agree on this. It has nothing to do with me being sexist, by the way. It just has everything to do with me
you just admitted you've never seen her any kind of practice video. And then you have the nerve to say she's outside.
You're 100% right. Practice video.
You just brought up LeBron's practice videos. What are you talking about? You brought up Steph Curry's practice videos. You are basing this off one thing.
And on to the next topic.
You can't stand that you are wrong right now. In the fact,
I'm not wrong.
or just
hold
admit.
on. Why are you so positive you're right?
Because I've seen both. You haven't.
Oh my God.
Why don't you look up some raw footage of her workouts, and then we can talk about this next week.
Caitlin Clark shooting from an NBA line with a men's ball. Oh, it doesn't exist. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I just searched the entire internet and I couldn't find it. It's crazy.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah.
I would say there's going to be...
I can't wait. I can't wait to get called sexist because I'm not on the Kool-Aid. I'm so excited.
Dude, it has nothing to do with any... See,
you're drinking all the Kool-Aid.
Big words like that to try to make it, to try to manipulate the conversation, and that's not the way it's working. Bottom line is, you said LeBron does this at practice, Steph Curry does this at practice as set shooters. I've never seen Caitlin Clark shoot, but oh, by the way, she's outside the top 100. That doesn't make any sense.
Yep. I'm purely basing this on the fact that A, NBA is not college.
Okay.
B, WNBA is not the NBA.
Okay.
C, they shoot from further away and have a larger ball, which is physically harder to make. And C, anyway.
2 C's?
Anyway, yep. There's 7 C's. There's 7
2
C's.
C's, Caitlin Clark. Those are the 2 C's. See,
I've never wanted to ruin the score of that game for you. So bad. If you keep going, I'm going to just shout out what it is. I'm looking at it right now. Actually, I see the final. Move on. I'm looking at the final right now.
Top 10.
Oh my
grossing.
God. I'm so mad
Adam
right now.
Sandler movies.
Oh gosh. Wow, you're really tearing me up right now.
Dude, the South Park left a lot to be desired last
Okay,
week.
so you're like... I said movie trivia, and you're talking about all-time Adam Sandler.
See, this is what I'm saying. You said, don't tell me anything that's coming up in the podcast, so it can all be like just straight reaction.
If you asked me to do top 10 grossing movies of all time, I probably have a pretty decent shot. But now it's specifically Adam Sandler as well, who, by the way, has only done 1,000 movies. Gosh. Can I just look up a list of Adam Sandler movies?
Yeah, I'll let you do that.
I'm so angry with you right now. The fact that you brought up that stupid topic. I could have gone the rest of my life without having that conversation on the pod.
So you think that's what's going to sell our podcast? Just us agreeing with each other all the time? There's going to be a little
block
friction.
All my good stuff. I don't want to hear it. You block all of my good stuff. I'm sorry if you can't tell. I'm legitimately like this, dude. See, here's the problem with top-rated these movies. Like Hotel Transylvania is going to be up there just because it's like a kids movie. That's not one of my guesses. But that's the idea, and that's not even, I don't think of that as a movie that is an Adam Sandler movie. Alright, gosh, I'm so unhappy right now. I'm so not...
Dude,
this is the least fun of all 3 podcasts.
Your diet is really showing right now. The energy level's up. That's good.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm feeling great. This is awesome. All right.
Do you want to do top 10 movies instead of top 10 Adam Sandler movies?
I would. No, because I'm gonna take my best guess at this, and if we want to do something else, we'll do something else.
Okay.
First of all, but this isn't even. I gotta find his filmography. All right.
Wikipedia.
Now wait a minute. Are they he's the star because there's other movies that he's participated in?
No, he's lead.
This is so annoying because I know I'm going to be very wrong and it's going to piss me off. Because there's inflation to consider. There's so many different things to consider in this.
So many things to consider.
I'm no longer having fun. This is as bad. So like, all right. I'm genuinely. This is the first genuine anger that I've ever had on the podcast.
I'm surprised it got to week 3.
Yeah, we are. We've already had too much of Logan, clearly. All right, Hotel Transylvania.
All 3 of them?
I just said one. If all 3 are on there, that would be nice to know. But
those are the top 3. Hotel Transylvania is first, or Hotel Transylvania 3 is first. Hotel Transylvania 2 is second. Hotel Transylvania
Grown Ups
is third. Grown Ups 2 and the original are both on there. 4 and 5. Now it gets to some Sandler movies.
Yeah, but once again, the highest ranking stuff is still going to be the newer stuff. So like, I could see that some of his older stuff would be on there, but I don't know for sure. Like, I'm going to lean toward older stuff just based on...
There's a little mixture, but I would say, yes, it's semi-newish.
Just go with it.
Number 10. Very good. I wouldn't have got that.
I would have guessed that one. I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
Not on there. I would have guessed that, too, because that's a phenomenal movie.
Yes, it is. Yeah, but good movies don't mean anything on this. And so many of this stuff goes straight to Netflix nowadays. So I wonder how they judge that.
It says
I've got
grossing,
6.
so I'm going to say
so I've got
box
6.
office.
So I've got 4 wrong, right? Or I've got 4 to go.
4 to go.
The Longest Yard.
Not on there. Should be.
I hate this game. I hate this game. Alright, here's a shot in the dark because it's animated. 8 Crazy Nights.
No, it's too old.
This is the dumbest game. I hate this game. Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, The Wedding Singer, Big Daddy.
Big Daddy is on there.
You're telling me Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, The Wedding Singer, none of them are on there?
None of them are on there.
It's the dumbest game. Why did you pick this category? You're a bad host. Oh my gosh. You're a bad host right now. I'm so... This is dumb. Click.
Is on there, yes.
Click's his best movie, in my opinion, by the way.
Then why wouldn't you guess that first?
Because it doesn't, it doesn't have a great broad appeal.
You gotta calm down.
Like, I would think Anger Management, because it has Jack Nicklaus, would be on there. Terrible movie.
Dude, Anger Management is probably a good segue for where we're going to go with you next right now.
You're a good host just for that joke. Hey, is Anger Management on there?
No.
That's my boy.
No. Do you want a hint?
Sure.
One has to do with video games.
Pixels. Oh my god. Kill me. Kill me now, Lord. Pixels is a top... Ugh!
And the other one has to do with...
Blended?
I don't even know what
Uncut
that is.
Gems.
No.
I wanted
Uncut Gems it was straight to
Fantastic.
Netflix.
No,
It's a
it
good
wasn't.
movie.
That's
It
not
wasn't?
straight. No.
I thought it was. It
Other
has
one
to
has
do with
what?
wishes.
Oh my god. Bedtime stories.
Correct. There you go.
It just goes to show that people in general are stupid. like if bedtime stories and pixels are what got people to the movie theater more than I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry, we you know what? I think the aliens should take us out as a society and a race. I think we should be done. We should no longer exist as human beings on this planet, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
Dude, I'm so tempted.
People are so stupid.
I'm so tempted right now to just let you go in your LeBron rant because
Oh my!
dude, you are so fired up right now.
Let me check my heart rate right now. No, actually, my LeBron rant, to be fair, is very pointed with things. It is not ranty like just hyperbolic stuff. It is very, very, very pointed, and you can go down a list of things that I believe he has been pre-elevated. And I can do that, but...
I mean, you're the talent, man.
What is your next category? I'm just out of curiosity, because if it sucks, if it's, oh, where's Kayla Cordrake? Then I'm going to go into a LeBron rant. Because if I have to talk about another stupid topic, I'm going to, like, flip my chair backwards. I'm so... you know what one of the best Adam Sandler movies was? Spanglish! Huh? Jack and Jill!
Dude. You literally... I mean, you gotta come back down to earth right now.
I'm good. What do you want from me? Tell the monkey how to play.
Monkey. Great segue. We're going to talk about animals now. I got a couple animal questions for you. One is. I mean, they're
Please
pretty
tell
fun
me
questions.
you're not serious.
Oh, I'm serious.
All right. So anyway, LeBron James. Go.
Shut up. So in a normal day, right? So whatever your normal day consists of, and let's say you're happy, right? Let's say you're the complete opposite of what you are right now.
You need to get to the point on this, whatever this is.
How many owls? OWLS, owls, would you have to see in a day before you thought, like, okay, something's not right?
Two to three. 2 to 3. If I see 1 owl, it's like, cool, that's an owl. If I saw 2 to 3, that's it. I'm dead. There's clearly someone is trying to kill me, and these owls know something.
Dude, that's when I think if I saw 1, wow, that's really cool. 2, it's like, that's a weird coincidence.
Oh, yeah. 3, it's like, I'm dead. Like,
we're like, baby, we're pulling the money from the bank. There's something going on.
We gotta get away from the owls. Start driving.
Because
they're nocturnal animals.
I've never seen an owl ever. Have you ever seen one in the wild?
You've never seen an owl?
Like at the zoo, yes. But I'm saying like in the wild.
Yes, I've seen an owl. Yes.
Really?
No, Jay. I'm lying about seeing it. Why would I lie about seeing an owl?
Where? Describe what happened.
Jay, I couldn't tell you when and where I saw the owl. Okay, so that means I was lying. Yep. All right. Oh, we're off to a great start on this owl conversation. It had so much promise, and you just have to push back because you just can't take my word. Then I saw an owl. If you're editing this right now, something is wrong with you because this is great content. Don't you dare edit this out. Yes, I saw,
Dude.
How little do you trust me? I'm telling you, I've seen an owl before.
I just think that you would know where you saw it. That's all I'm saying.
It's not something that stood out to me so much. Like the birth of my child, I'll never forget that. Right up there with that time I saw that owl.
You just admitted 2 owls. You're panicking. 1, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's not something that's happened a lot in my life.
Oh my gosh, dude. All right, we gotta get to the draft. I think that's the next thing we gotta do.
I just started crying. Ugh.
Oh my gosh, dude, you have snapped like 5 times in the last 15 minutes. It's been unbelievable.
I asked you to give me movie trivia. and you take
I
me
did.
to the worst. Like, it's not even like, what are the highest rated on Rotten Tomatoes? What are his most... No. Pixels was an answer.
It was 6.
Move on, draft. I'm so excited for the draft. Let's go to the draft.
All right. You have a choice. The draft. You have a choice. We're either going to do ice cream flavors or candy bars. Which one would you rather go with?
And you have to go candy bars because there's like an infinite amount of ice cream flavors.
Okay.
And also, I think this is you're the host.
Okay, all you gotta do is submit your ideas, and I'm completely okay with it.
That is a good point. I did talk about how little I do this. Hey, I want to do this twice a week. For all of you who crave more, this is Jay's fault. So, I'm ready to go twice a week.
Yeah, you want to do twice a week, which doubles my workload of you to just sit down and get angry. Dude, I thought the Hawk was going to pop out there for a second.
Dude, I'm 7 days without beer. Like, it would have surprised you if I just reached into my fridge, got 2 beers, and stone cold, and it's like, oh!
I'd been like, no, Logan, you've come so far.
Yeah. All
right, candy bars. Do you want the dad joke now or after?
No. If you give me a dad joke right now, I will end the podcast.
That could be fun.
Please, sir, just go.
All right.
I'm asking you. Hold on, I'm trying to.
I gotta pull up candy bars. I was ready for ice cream. I wasn't ready for. I think you're top.
Hey, this is not going to be on my list because I've only had it once in my life, but it was fantastic. Well, 2 things. Have you had a Feastable yet? The Mr. Beast one?
Mm-mm.
I have not either. I've heard positive things. Number 2, I actually have seen them in the wild. I've seen a Wonka bar.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like an owl. but I think that Harold's used to have them.
I never saw one at Harold's. But you can still buy them. You can buy them off Amazon right now. I don't know that I want to buy my chocolate off Amazon. Candy Warehouse. Yeah, there's my Wonka bar right there. And by the way, like, we're sticking this to chocolate bars, right? Because, like, I'm a huge Gobstopper fan, for example.
Yeah, but, I mean, I think you got to throw in, like, Skittles.
No, hold on. This is chocolate bar.
Chocolate candy bar.
Yes. And I think, we do 5 each?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, I mean, I'm okay with that, but you're taking away Skittles, Starburst,
I think it's a different
Sour
category.
Patch Kids.
I would not, like, it's like calling a hot dog a sandwich. Technically, it's a meat between a piece of bread.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, how's this working here?
I don't know. Usually we do some kind of score with the order.
I want first pick because
you do want
you're
first.
Gonna take mine. Yes.
Are we doing Snake as well?
Yep.
All right, what you got?
Reese's.
It's the only logical first pick.
It's the number one. It always is. It will forever be the number one. It's one.
And it's crazy how much better. Like, and Reese's is the number one pick no matter what. Just like the Reese's peanut butter cup.
And that's why, like, if I didn't have that, like, I would have just quit. We wouldn't have had this conversation anymore.
I should have went then. But like Reese's peanut butter cup, those are number one, easy, without question. And then how much better the holiday special edition stuff is.
Oh yeah, dude!
Like the egg, the pumpkins, the trees.
The pain that I felt in my soul on this diet, watching all the Reese's eggs my kids had. I literally
They're just laughing. Enjoying
having a great time. Dude, me and my wife went to dinner on Thursday for our date night to, like, one of my favorite places, the Precinct. And I had to, first of all, I walked through the door and my bourbon senses started tingling. And I had to be like, no, Logan, you're not doing that. And then literally she's just having drinks and eating the bread and having salad, and I'm just sitting there and just telling the waiter, like, yeah, meat. Give me meat.
Caveman.
With my water. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, dude.
No, but back to your kids and just enjoying life. Like, was it like Easter Sunday, was it yesterday?
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there mad.
Oh, yeah, I was literally like,
thinking about all the owls you've seen in your life.
I told her, I was like, listen, I'm not going to your family's thing. I'm a miserable curmudgeon right now. Like, if I have to watch more freaking people eat candy in front of my face, I'm gonna flip out. Like, we went to brunch with my mom, and my mom usually has mimosas and cinnamon rolls and, like, all this nice stuff. I ate ham and bacon. And I'm just looking at it all. And I'm just like, I never felt more miserable. All right,
and
continue.
I'm not a big bacon fan, but like a lot of people love bacon.
I love bacon.
So on a normal day, bacon wouldn't be a bad thing. But I mean,
but on 6 days of not a carb, I feel like Derek and Step Brothers. I haven't had a carb since 2001.
Do you got the six pack you had?
No, not quite. I've got a nice keg.
All right, you went Reese's.
Now, hold on. I do think this is very important because there are subgenres of, like, there's a different type of Snickers than other Snickers.
No, I think it, like,
I
don't know, like, because it's funny you say that because, like, Snickers peanut butter is my favorite Snickers.
100%, and I think that is a fair choice.
Okay, so but we're not doing Reese's eggs. Like, that's all Reese's.
No. Like, if it's pretty much the same thing, but if there is a noticeable difference,
okay,
in the, you know what I mean?
Different
like,
candy bar.
And yes.
Okay.
But no, you cannot just do Reese's eggs. No.
I'm doing. Our top 10 would just be the different variations of Reese's.
Reese's.
Snickers peanut butter.
Okay.
Is my number one. I'm going with that.
Okay.
And on my second one, I'm going to go with Old Faithful, which is a Hershey's chocolate bar.
Okay. Well,
keep it simple.
That's a terrible, horrible choice. So, this is a real dark horse, but man, I love these. And by the way, it is a Hershey's, Mr. Goodbar.
Hey, if Mom watches this podcast, she's all in on that. That's her favorite candy.
Mr. Goodbars are fantastic. Now, see, this is where I need to have a conversation before I make the pick. I'm literally looking here at my list, and there is, and I think about this all the time because this is where I would go. Reese's Fast Break.
Yeah. I mean, it is different than a Reese's.
And then there's also the Reese's, by the way, there's also the Reese's Nutrageous.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like...
Whatever you're feeling, I feel it. Like, I think...
Okay, I'll try to stick a little more true, and I will go... This is a difficult decision because could go one of two ways here, but I think my favorite... I'll go, Carmelo.
Okay.
I like a little caramel.
I've only had it a couple
caramel.
times.
Oh, they're fantastic. Just like you bite in, it's just like a wave of caramel.
I'm going peanut M&Ms.
Great choice, but I also don't think of that as a bar, but whatever. You're freaking rule.
I mean, I've already just took out Skittles and Star Wars.
Yeah.
Here we go. He's thinking about those owls again. Getting all fired up. I think, man, it's tough because there's a lot of in the same like tier.
I think the next two are very easy, and if you don't pick one of the two, then my next two picks are very easy.
All right.
There's three that could fight for that too. To be fair,
I'm going with a Three Musketeers.
Those are absolutely horrible, and I can't believe you just picked that.
All right, you get two to finish this off.
Yeah, Twix and Milky Way.
See, I was thinking Milky Way. I'm not a big Twix fan. Even though I think
good Twix.
I think their marketing is one of the best in the candy bar game.
Well, I mean, no marketing has ever been better than Kit Kat.
Oh, give me a break.
Everyone in the world knows the Kit Kat song, and if you don't, you probably can't hear.
Okay, so you either know it or you're deaf. Those are the two options.
Yep, very much, yep.
All right,
I kind of got lost in the air on that one, didn't know where to go.
So Reese's, Mr. Goodbar, Carmelo, Twix, and Milky Way. So I have Snickers peanut butter, Hershey's chocolate bar, peanut M&Ms, Three Musketeers, and my fifth pick, I'm going with my movie favorite. Like, if I'm at the movies, this is what I get. Bunch of Crunch.
Don't even know what that is.
Your life will change once you have it.
Well, so my movie thing is, which, I mean, we do that at the house, too, whenever we watch movies. You take chocolate, you take Hershey bars, you put it, or you take popcorn, you take Hershey bar, you put it all in your mouth at the same time, and you slip into a diabetic coma. So, I'll sit there and eat 3 whole Hershey bars with a thing of popcorn.
3 whole Hershey?
Yes.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, so there's a perfect ratio. There's my big old meaty paw full of popcorn, as much popcorn as my gullet will handle. And 2, like, you know how they're like in 3 squares?
Yeah.
2 squares. So 2 squares.
So 2 across or 6?
No. 2 across. Just like 2, like,
okay.
if you break it into pieces, it's like 12 pieces, right? 12, 3, 3, 3, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta break the 3s apart, and then you take the 1 away, and you just left with 2.
Where would any kind of dark chocolate fall on your list?
In a special place in hell. Dark chocolate is for people who look at me. It's good for my cardiovascular health.
I do not understand the hype on dark chocolate. I hate it.
Dark chocolate's horrible. There is no hype. There are people who are trying to pretend they're cool. They're like, oh, look at me. I love my dark chocolate.
There's no way in my mind that somebody likes dark chocolate more than milk chocolate.
I say
especially
that, but at the same time, like,
or a Hershey's. Come on.
I say that, but at the same time, like, there's people that like wines that I don't like and stuff like that. So, like, when you start to think about stuff like that, like, everybody has a different taste profile, and this is me being as uncontroversial and angry as I can be. While what I want to say
angry,
is,
yeah.
Yeah, well, what I want to say is, if you like dark chocolate, go to hell.
Dude, you saw that I released your UK rant on Facebook.
I did.
Right?
I did, actually. Yeah, I think I shared it.
Man, I was expecting people to get fired up about it. Especially because you got a lot of friends that are UK fans. I mean, we both... that's Georgetown, USA.
I hate UK so much. I hate them. I've never liked them. I have so many more things I could say, but I'm sure you have more topics.
Have you seen the big kid from NC State?
Eddie. Oh, no, I thought you were... Oh, yeah, are you talking about the kid that just tore up the Duke kid?
Yeah, he's like stalking.
Yeah.
Him and Purdue play next week.
Eddie will kill him. He's too tall, and he's also a mountain of a man. That won't go well for him.
But it's going to be like... it's going to be like the mountain of their careers, because... they're both big men, right? And
neither one of them have any career
in the NBA,
in the professional game. Yeah,
but neither one of them have had a lot of like big men that could like compete with them.
Mm-hmm.
So they're literally like, this is it for them. Like,
it's Godzilla versus Kong.
I mean, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Have you seen there's been that video going around of Zach Eddy taking a girl into his dorm room?
Mm-mm.
Have you seen that? At like a party?
Is she? Or how much taller is he?
Oh, it's astronomical. Man. Astronomical. Like, somebody said, like, this is the guy that just gave your favorite team buckets. And he's like, dude, it would kind of so, like, as much as I would love to be that tall to take advantage of its professional benefits, at the same time, not being able to walk through a door without getting, like, hunching over significantly would be really annoying.
You've seen The Internship, obviously. Phenomenal movie.
With Robert De Niro and Anne Hathaway?
No.
Oh, no. You're talking about, Owen Wilson and Zach. Wilson.
Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson.
And no, I have not. I've seen bits and pieces because I didn't have
that
any.
Movie.
I didn't hear it was that good, and
it is.
Yeah.
It's not Step Brothers good, obviously, or
and it's Wedding Crashers.
Wedding Crashers. It's not Wedding Crashers good. By the way, you saw Wedding Crashers in the theater.
Yep.
With Mom,
sure did.
not me.
Mm-hmm.
It was with Mom. How old were you guys when you guys went to that?
Oh, I mean, that was like 2005, dude. So I mean, you're talking. I was in like 7th grade. I was like, am I supposed to be watching this? That's nothing. That's not as bad as the other movie that I was like, man, I heard this was really funny, and they were like, it's rated R, and I was like, it's just a Will Ferrell movie. Yeah. I was like, it's just a Will Ferrell movie. Step Brothers. And we were in Florida. It was when I went down with Jess to his AAU stuff, and I was like, yeah, if we're going to go to a movie, let's go watch Step Brothers. And they're like, really? Like, I heard it wasn't that bad. Or we heard it was pretty bad. And I was like, it'll be fine. And like at that point, we were sophomores, so it's not like nearly as big of a deal. Right. But at the same time, it was like, when Will Ferrell starts putting it on a drum set, like I was like, I've made better choices. I think I saw Superbad in theaters with my mother. That one was really weird. With my mother.
How in the world did you convince T and K to take you and Jess as 7th graders to go watch Wedding Crashers? It's so insane.
So here's the really interesting thing. They had seen it with, like, you or someone else before.
Not me. I would never watch it with my parents.
I'm telling you, they had seen it in theaters already. And they, like, said it was so funny. Called my mom and asked if they could take me to that movie. I'll never forget.
There's no way that's true.
Call Kathy Chadwell right now. I swear on my daughter's life, once again,
okay, why and how?
Why and how would I have made this up? Where did you see the
owl, Logan? Where did you see the owl?
Why and how would I have made that up?
I just don't think that's a Kath move. Okay. I really don't.
Okay. All right.
Here's what we're going to do. Next week, we're going to start off with her for 5 minutes and just tell some Logan stories.
Ask her. Just ask her.
Just tell some Logan stories.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, she'll want to talk about you slipping on the ice.
Yeah. And she'll talk about my fantastic science ACT score.
I forgot about that.
That's her favorite. I really do believe that's her favorite.
Her favorite is you catching softball.
No, that's not her favorite. That's not even in her top 5.
Oh. This is what we're going to do. I changed my mind.
Ask her what her top 5.
Yeah, and then you try to match them up.
Oh, I just know that the softball. You can't give her any hints because I think you will taint the jury pool so significantly. It'll be Adam Sandler all over again.
Yeah, no, I won't say anything. That's a good idea. I do like that. I like that better.
I'll tell you what story. I know a story that would never be in her favorites because she was genuinely mad at me. I don't even know if I'm going to say it. It's the most I've ever upset her, and I still feel terrible to this day.
What does it have to do with? Cue me in on.
My pants. In your house.
I do remember that. Because you and Jess were playing pool, right?
Yeah.
Or ping pong or something. Pool. And he said if you go upstairs, you forfeit.
You forfeit, yeah. I was like, I'm not losing.
Did you win?
Oh, no, I was literally my pants. No, I didn't win. Do you know, like, how it is to, like, try to... Like, can you focus real well when your only focus is trying to not crap your pants? Yeah. Yeah. So, by the way, I was 16 or 17 years old when that happened.
Dude, you talk about one person that has a chance to just convince you to do crazy stuff, it's Jess. The things that he can
yeah, because I just, like, I refuse to, like, I'll lose to him at a lot of things, but, like, I will try I'll do everything I can.
And he knows how to play that hand. He knows how to play that hand 100%.
Yeah.
Like, eventually I'll be like, whatever, okay, it's fine. We won't do that. Jess
no, I'm still, like, me and Jess, like, haven't, like, talked a whole lot lately, and I'm still like, my kid's smarter than his. Like,
I'm still a competitor.
Yeah. And it's like, oh man, Vance read this book, and it's like, oh yeah, me and Brooklyn finished Harry Potter last week.
I could see you thinking that's not a stretch of the truth either.
That's a little bit of a stretch of the truth.
No, I'm not saying Harry. I'm saying, I don't think there's going to be a lot of edits tonight.
Oh, that's not good.
Even in your upsetness, like
I thought that was comedy gold.
Oh, it's great, dude! I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah. All right, you got another topic?
I don't. I'm ready to call it a night unless you got something you want to talk about.
I could give my 5-minute LeBron James spiel.
First off, it's not going to be 5 minutes.
No, I'm watching the clock. I can 100% do this in 5 minutes. It's not as crazy as you think.
That's going to be an opening because that's a good topic to open on. Draw people in. So that's got to be.
Yeah, but I don't think I think one of our problems at the beginning of this podcast, if we get very meta in a second, at the beginning we were not very funny. It took us a minute to get funny, and I am always what is funny. Yeah, I think it's just we differ on that. I will always go for what is funny, and you're like, I feel like you want to do like outside the lines.
I don't know what that is. I mean, I know it's a show, but I've never watched it.
Yeah, it's like a super serious journalism show on sports.
I don't want to be super serious.
Yeah, and I'm like, I
asked you how many owls you'd have to see in a day, and I'm pretty sure that's.
But hold on, what was your first thing? What was the first sports topic? AFC over/unders.
Yeah, you said you wanted to talk about that with the Bengals.
Oh, I just want to talk about how bad Joe Burrow's, overrated.
Dude, we can turn this into nothing but comedy from here on out. But I like our sports talk. I like hearing your opinion on sports.
Yeah, you know what? I actually enjoy having those conversations as much as I enjoy anything else. I feel like it's definitely a more authentic version of myself because I'm not usually just trying to be this character. I would say that a lot of times I can be on here. I have to do it so much of my job that it's not something that I greatly enjoy anymore. I think it comes natural when I come back with like you guys because I think the character version of me has died as I have aged.
Well, you got to play a part for work. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, but it's still the being that on. I don't know if I ever told you this, but I went on one of the worst vacations I've ever went on. It was probably 2 or 3 years ago now. Yeah, Scarlett wasn't even born. Brooklyn was probably like 2, maybe 3.
Yeah.
And we took like a lot of my family and some of Emily's friends, and Cody Jodry came down with me. And normally, all those people would look to me to kind of be the, hey, we're going to do this, the ringleader guy.
Yeah.
But I was so burnt out from work, I was like, I'm not doing any of that. So no one stepped up and took that role, and it was the most boring, terrible vacation I've ever been on in my life. It was absolutely horrible. I did not have the energy to be that guy. And I do think every group of individuals and people needs that.
I agree.
Yeah,
but you can't have too many of them either.
No, you cannot. There's a lot of conflict that comes with that.
1 or 2.
And yeah, I was actually getting ready to ask. So, like, when you guys go on your vacation to Hawaii as a family, who's the person?
Dad was a lot. Katie had some things planned.
Well, I'm not talking about necessarily things planned, but like
no, she had stuff planned for the family. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like, let's go do this. But I'm big on like, let's just see what happens. Like that's their idea.
Spontaneity. I'm such a big fan of that.
They want to do this. That's fine. I'll go do it. And I'm sure it's fun, whatever they have planned, because they've done research on it. But also, when I'm on vacation, I don't want every hour planned.
No,
because then it becomes
it's
like you're almost like a job instead of just enjoying vacation.
Yeah, that's why like we're going to Disneyland for a day this summer, and I literally don't want to go. If I could not go, I would not go. I've seen I've like watched and seen like on YouTube and stuff what Disney has become, and it's gross and disgusting. And the parents that take their kids like every year, or like that's your big thing, I'm like, there's something wrong with you. It's to that level of like, I just, and once again, dude,
like, wait, hold on. You said gross and disgusting, as in like the corporation of Disney itself, or like the people that are there, how they act.
Well, that, and it's just like, who wants to go somewhere and wait in lines? Like, that's what you're going to do.
Yeah,
like,
but
literally.
I think when you take your kids to Disney to watch your kids experience Disney, I think that's such a big thing.
You know what, Mike? You know where I've always taken... we always go to the beach. Like, I'm a huge beach guy. Yeah. I guarantee you, my kid will forever love the beach. You know what my kid will eventually not love? Disney characters.
Yeah.
It's just like that is a temporary fix for a time in their lives that is a glimpse. How many memories? This is a good question. How many memories do you have from 5 or younger that you can like distinctly recall? Not like you remember the story or something like that. Like you can picture in your head being there.
Right. I understand what you're saying. But I think my parents have distinct memories of me under 5 and seeing me.
So it's your selfishness.
I mean, I'm not saying that. Like, I obviously still had fun in the moment just because I don't remember it. I think you're concentrating too much on the totality of life.
Did you go to Disney?
We went a couple times.
I went once. I was 3. Don't remember.
That's where Jess and Mom and Dad were when you went down on AAU. They were at the Wide World of Sports, weren't they?
Yeah, but we didn't go to Disney. We were just like
you guys went to a nightclub.
That's a good story. That's a good story for another time. Man, that guy wanted to fight me because his girl wanted me and not him. I can't help it.
Hey, she's not stupid. Like she.
Yeah. I walk in, my Ohio charm just immediately kicks in. By the way, that's so far before I knew how to talk to females at all. I legitimately don't think I knew how to talk to females until I was 20. Like, and I had girlfriends and stuff like that, and it took until I was about 20 before I had any inkling on what to say to a female.
Wasn't Jess dancing and he was center of attention? You were kind of just like, I'm over my head.
I was Kevin James, baby. That's just I've never been to a nightclub and danced before. Oh, it's a great story.
No, that might be a story Mom picked because she still talks about you, Jess, and her all getting ready to go to that club.
Yeah. So I fluctuated about 20 pounds during high school. I was either 180 or 200. 180 was I was in pretty decent shape. 200 was I was not in good shape. I was 200 that summer
down there,
and put on a shirt, and I had titties. Titties were coming through the shirt, and I wasn't prepared for it. And I said it was I got man boobs, and your mom loves that story. Yeah, it was.
Man, that is hilarious. Yeah, I think it's a good obviously. I mean, we can explain the stories as they go, but I think that just people seeing you try to recollect stories in the past will be a good time because you got a lot of them.
I'll say, this is how we're going to know that Kathy doesn't watch the entire podcast. I'm going to go ahead and say right now 2 of them. And there's a 0% chance that she listens, and the fall on the ice, 100%.
That's number
Which,
one.
by the way, I actually had a concussion. Looking back, I legitimately, because we had a basketball game the next day, and I got sick, and and it was because of that. And your dad is the only person that cared. Kathy on the ground, rolling, laughing, and
Jess and Corey Marshall, right?
Dying laughing. And by the way, it's not like when you drop to the ground in laughter. It was snowing outside. They were freezing, and it was that funny. They didn't care. On ice. So that, the ACT thing, the ACT is hilarious. The ACT is one of the best ones. I don't know what the other 3 would be, but I can guess. Some of her stories are not funny, but in retrospect, me telling her the stories, when I was in 6th grade, maybe I was 8th grade or something, and I was yelling at refs for the 7th grader, and she just looked at me, and I was I saw God.
That Kathy looked at.
Yeah. So we've rambled long enough. We should outro this.
All right, I got you have the.
If you play the music, I'm not going to be able to hear you.
Okay, I'm going to ask the question,
and then
I'm going to So that's when it's going to be. So by the time our next podcast airs, not this one, the next one, a major global event will have happened. Do you know what that is?
Oh, the eclipse.
Yep. So that's your rollout. What are you doing for the eclipse?
Absolutely nothing. We're not going to be able to see it really well. You have to go up toward Columbus. I'm not excited in any way, shape, and/or form. This is it's the sun and the moon, people. You literally get to see them every day. If you're excited by it, get a more exciting life. Whoa!
All right, Jay Chadwell, podcast. Appreciate you stopping by with Logan as always. Sorry he was a little angry today. It'll be better next week. Promise. See you next time.